Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stacie Stitches for Stacie Stitches Creative Studio. This is Flosstube episode number 30. That sounded funny. It's a Flosstube episode number 30. Today is Thursday, June 2nd, and this is a channel about cross stitch, a little bit about my online needle workshop, and other crafty things. So I'm glad you came to visit. If you are a subscriber, thank you so very much. If you currently watch and don't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. This way more lovely stitchy friends can find me. So thanks for coming back to see me, subscribers, and thanks to everyone that's new. So let's get into the stitching. Okay, so I am participating this year in WIPGO 2022, and last month, the month of May, the two numbers that were called, I used the free space, so the two numbers that were called corresponded to my Long Dog Sampler Rose Marquee, and I'm so glad that this got called because I have not touched it in forever. So before... And my goal is to stitch on it for 7 days in the month, which I did. And to me, 7 days means I have to touch it. Whether I put 10 stitches in it, 30 stitches in it, whatever it is, I just have to touch it. So prior to this week, the last time I touched it was June 30th of last year. So it's pretty good. And I did put some stitches into this one. Oh, I should get my board out, but there's projects on my board right now. So when I left off, I had all the green border and just this little bit of the purple. But look at all that beautiful stitching that I got done. So I changed this up a little bit. It's supposed to be a monochromatic piece, but I wanted to zhuzh it up a bit. And two of my favorite colors are green and purple. And I found this, so I'm stitching this on 32 count April Showers from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And it's like the perfect piece of fabric for this. I'm stitching it 1/2 with Fiberlicious silks. I don't have the silk names. Hang on just a second. One is Hunter Green, and the other is Purple Rain. So very pleased on my progress on that. And surprisingly, I felt like when I first started working on this, it was very difficult to stitch. But this time, maybe it's just another year's worth of experience has got me moving pretty quickly on it. So I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. And the other WIPGO call for May I can't remember the numbers right now, so you'll have to bear with me. I think it's more important that you know what the projects are. Was the Baby Girl Tree from Shannon Christine Designs. And I don't know why I picked this pattern. It's super cute, but it's a lot of quarter stitches. There's a ton of back stitch, and it's just not something I think I'm gonna continue. I may UFO it. I have another chart that I might use because this is a gift for my friends who live overseas. And I got one page done, and I think I'm just gonna UFO it. I'm not enjoying it at all. And I think it's because there's too many color changes. So I'm stitching this on 32 count My Precious Jobelin from Bee Stitch Me Fabric with the called for DMC 2/2. And now I got this much done, and while it's really pretty, I kind of hate it. To be honest. I think it's super pretty. It's just not something I'm enjoying. So, sorry, Richard and Christy. I have another pattern picked out that I think I want to do for Astrid, and it won't take nearly as long to stitch. You might get it before she turns 2, because she'll be 1 soon enough. I started my goal was to get 7 days on this. I did get 7 days. And the sad thing is I had all these tree branches. So in the 7 days, the only thing I did was like these green leaves and finish some of these yellow things. And I'm not feeling it. And since I'm a sweet stitcher, a stitch what I want when I want, I don't want to stitch this anymore. And don't get me wrong, Shannon Christine, she does beautiful designs. It's just this one in particular is not my jam. So I will be UFOing this. If anyone wants to pick up where I left off, let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to send this off to you. Actually, I can't because it's a PDF, so scratch that. I will just cut a hunk of that off of that. Cut that little bit off that fabric and start over, because I think the new pattern that I picked out will go just fine with that fabric. So while that's disappointing, I think I knew from the start that I wasn't gonna like it, and I just did it. So I started that April 8th of 2021, and I stitched on it for like 5 days that month, 1 day in June, and then my 7 days. So clearly I was not feeling it because I didn't pick it up for a year. Sometimes that's what happens, guys. It's just, you like what you like and you just move on. So this month's WIPGO numbers were called, and they correspond to my, the first one is my Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's Village. And the goal on this is to complete one pattern, one full pattern. And I am currently working on this, and this is the Elves Workshop. I am stitching this on 32 count. No, that's not right. 36 count Ocean Air from Fox and Rabbit. So I haven't started yet. So I have to complete that whole pattern, but these are the first 2. So this is my starting point. So I got the first 2 done, and I think I'm putting obviously I'm putting them all on one piece of fabric, but I think I'm going to get 4 across and maybe 3 down, because there's 12 patterns. I don't know. Am I going to fit 4 across and 3 down? I don't know. I might not be able to fit 3 down. Shoot. Maybe. Well, we'll wing it. We'll see. Maybe I left too much of a border at the top. But I love how these colors, and I'm using just the called for, I think I'm using the called for threads. So that's DMC and Classic Colorworks, I believe. But I love how the colors pop on this fabric. And I think the fabric, you can't really see the snowflakes but on camera, but there we go. This fabric just lends itself so nicely to a chilly winter's day. And dude, I hate Santa's eyes, so I might be pulling those out because they're French knots and putting tiny sea beads in, because I loathe the French knot. So, and I did get all the buttons that are called for, but I will put them all on in the end. So the goal is to complete the Elves Workshop this month. And I think that's doable. Possibly. Not going to do it at StitchCon because this is 36 count. I haven't even figured out what I'm going to take to StitchCon yet. Whatever it is, I think I'm only going to take 3 projects and then buy something and kit it up there and start it up there. But we'll see. I say that. I learned last year that I did not stitch a whole lot. I mean, I stitched a good bit, but not as I brought too many things, so I couldn't figure out what I wanted to stitch on. So then the other number that was called corresponds with my pattern for Cuore Beta Cuore, and the name of the pattern is Sei personaggi in cerca di Halloween, which translates to 6 characters for Halloween. And the goal for this month is to get 1 character done. Ironically, how is that that those were so called? That those were called together, and it's kind of similar that it's a multi-pattern. I don't plan on keeping these all together, but I am stitching them all on the same fabric, but I think I'm going to make little ornaments with them. So I am stitching this on 36 count Clouds and Shadows from XJU Designs, and I am starting on, where is she? I'm starting on this little witchy poo. That's where I did start. And this is where I left off. So I didn't start, obviously today's only the 2nd. I didn't start my WIPGO goals yet. Right? Yeah, that is the one. So I started working on this in September of last year, and I only put 3 days in it. So that's not too bad for 3 days, but I did my own Classic Colorworks conversion. So here are the colors I'm working with. And I have so many Classic Colorworks, so I thought this would be a good use. Kind of simple to convert, and it's not necessarily a full DMC matchup, but just colors that, like a purple, a orange, whatever colors I thought would look good on this fabric, basically. So I'm excited to pull this out again, because they are super cute. I mean, come on, cute. So my goal is to get that little tutu witch. I guess that is the only witch, because the other one looks like a wizard, a cat, a scarecrow, ghost, and a devil. So, Janel, it's time to bring this back out again. I know you said you weren't going to stitch anything Halloween until October, but maybe you want to get this out. We have to create a hashtag for it. So those are my 2 WIPGO goals for this month. To get 1 character and 1 house or pattern done of those. Y'all, I'm like losing my mind here. I'm just proud that it's been 2 weeks and I'm getting back on the swing of things. I think it's because my kid isn't here. He's been gone for, sorry, sidebar. He's been gone for almost a week. He's at Grammy camp. We shipped him off to Pennsylvania to spend time with his grandparents and his cousins and everybody, and then we will meet them up there, or we will go up there at the end of June and stay for 2 weeks. Both Brian and I will work from there, but we'll stay there for 2 weeks, and then we head to Georgia for vacation for a few days, and then we'll be back here. Okay. But yeah, so he hasn't been here. So Brian and I have been like doing our own thing like we always do. I'm getting ready for StitchCon. He is working his butt off in the workshop for, as you guys have seen, I hope you've seen, we are in this year's nice list box from Black Needle Society. So Brian is out in the wood shop cranking on the special item that we're including in that box. We're super, super excited. It was hard not to tell everybody beforehand, but yes, so that was some exciting news for our little small business that we are now so happy to be included in this year's nice list box. So go get one if you haven't. Okay. Stitching. So I also worked on my new nephew. I don't know if I told you guys. I'm pretty sure I did. But my new nephew was born in April. April? Yes, he's a month old now. And I'm still finishing up his... Oh, no, I am finished. Finishing up his birth record. So I changed this up a bit. I don't have a picture of it because it was a PDF, but it's called the Elephant Birth Sampler from Sasha Turasheva on Etsy. I'm stitching this on 28 count Cashel Ice Blue Lemon, and I did my own color conversion. I pretty much just used whatever colors I wanted to use. So I'm not going to put his birth date on there. I'm just going to put his name. And originally the pattern was only this. And I was like, well, he has two parents, so I need to put two elephants in. And that's his name, Reeve Kelly Stassen. And the hair's super cute. And then this is the other, so there's like a triptych that goes along with this, and this is one of the triptych panels. I finished the other ones like 4 months ago. But once I FFO this, you guys will see it again. So that's that. So this is supposed to be Alyssa. This is my brother Mark, and this is baby Reeve. And I love those plaid or tartan hearts. So cute. Hopefully Mark and Alyssa don't watch this. I don't know why they would, unless they're trying to sneak a peek at what I made for the baby. But I am now finished with that. So that is a finish. Yay! And I just used DMC. One lint. Then I've been doing a lot of secret stitching too for StitchCon, so I'm not going to show any of that, but I can tell you that I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have a plethora of little tiny finishes. What is going on with this little curl of hair? A plethora of little finishes that I don't know that I'm gonna FFO before StitchCon. Fingers crossed that I do. I'm just having some difficulty figuring out how I'm gonna get it done. Now, my smalls exchange is done. That's no problem. So that's the big thing that I needed to get done. If I don't get done these other things, I can always do them and then send them off to people, because they're for specific people. And then I've also been doing, for the needle minder exchange, I've been bagging up needle minders, and that's been like a couple hours every night because I'm making them. Oy. I don't know what I was thinking. So the next thing I stitched on was for my friend Zan, the Crazy Band Lady, or the Crazy Band Lady Stitches on Instagram and on Flosstube. I continued on stitching this, which is Golden Bees from Owl Forest Embroidery. It's my first Owl Forest kit. I love it. I love the pattern, and I am not a super bee person, but I love this. So for hashtag Zan's Bee Day Sal, BEE, I've been working on this, and I really just can't stop working on it. So I got the first page done. Dude, I mean, look at those freaking honey pots. I love those honey freaking pots. So I'm all the way down here. So thanks to Zan, I got a good chunk of this done because I made sure to work on it every day in the month of May, or every day that I stitched in the month of May. So thanks, Zan, and happy birthday. And so for my hashtag, which for the month of May, which I did last May and I did this May, I'm doing hashtag Patriotic May Frenzy. So I stitch on only patriotic charts. Or not only, but I make sure to stitch every day on a patriotic chart. And I have 3 charts that I've been working on since last year. So the first one is Patriotic Picnic from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I also have this pattern in my online store if you'd like to pick it up. I had started this and then I hated the fabric. I was stitching on a natural linen and it was too scratchy. It was like scratching my arms and giving me hives. So I threw that piece of linen away and I pulled out a 28 count piece of Absidarian from R&R. You guys. So keep in mind, I scrapped and started all over. You ready? You're not ready. You ready? You gotta be ready. Look at that. So I ran out of Louisiana hot sauce, so I have to wait for an order to come in, which it just came in yesterday. So I can finish this up. I think I can finish this up before the 4th. But I got so much of it done. So I am using all of the called for colors except for the truck. I wanted the truck to be a little bit of a different blue than the rest of the blues. So I subbed, what was the called for? I subbed the Weeks Dye Works Americana for a Weeks Dye Works Blue Jay. Oh, and I also stubbed the 434 DMC with Weeks Dye Works Palomino. But that truck is killing me because it looks so good. I like that I chose to do it in a different color, because then I think it makes the truck stand out a little bit more. But I am very freaking pleased at how fast I got to working on this thing. Pretty amazing. So now that I have the Louisiana hot sauce, I can get back to just knocking this one out. Don't you think? So that was the first one that I worked on for Patriotic. Hashtag Patriotic May Frenzy. And I'm keeping this in a mini bag from Allegra Studios. I love these mini bags for these kinds of projects where I just have a paper copy of the front of the pattern, because this is a digital pattern, but this is just, I keep this in the bag so I know what it is. But these are super cute and perfect for smalls. The next thing I worked on, which I just saw someone else had just finished theirs, I wish I knew who it was, is America from Calico Kitchen. Or Calico Confectionery. I am stitching this on a 36 count Old Town blend from R&R. So I got it. When I first picked it up, I only had like a few rows of the bunting done. And now I got a lot more of that bunting done and 2 letters. What? I did my own conversion and I'm using Sulky Threads and one Classic Colorworks, which I think is Queen Bee. Yeah, Queen Bee. So Classic Colorworks Queen Bee, and then Sulky Threads. If anybody wants the numbers of the Sulky Threads, let me know if they're interested. If you're not, then don't worry about it. So yeah. So I got a good chunk of that done. Very pleased how that's turning out. And then the last thing I worked on for hashtag Patriotic May Frenzy is Every Heart from Whispered on the Wind. Oh yeah, it's in a plastic bag. I think I've told you before, I'm a sucker for an Uncle Sam. And this Uncle Sam reminds me of the 4th of July parade in my hometown, because there's always a man in stilts dressed as Uncle Sam. The good question is, what am I stitching this on? There's my little card here. Stitching this on 36 count Bunny Mom from XJU Designs. Stitching 1/1 with the called for DMC. So this one I also got a good chunk done. So I got the first page done. So this is 2 pages. So I got the first page done, and now I'm working on the second page, and I think I can get this done before the 4th too if I keep working on it. Looks pretty good. So that is what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, for the last 2 weeks. Which I think is a lot, right? Sorry for the long pause. I'm thinking about what I want to say next. I mean, that was a pretty good chunk of stitching, I think. Okay, so let's move on to last week's giveaway. I will not have a giveaway this week. I just didn't have time to get one together, and I can't be spoiling you people with giveaways every time I make a video. I mean, that's just crazy. But, so, everybody was super excited about this lovely project binder from Heather of Punky Purls, or Punky's Place, which I cannot blame you because it is just fabuloso, and it included the 3 charts, and I want to congratulate Ellen Stratton. You have won the project binder. I don't know if she's calling this yeah, I call it a project binder. But congratulations, Ellen. I will pop this into the mail for you. And I hope to see pictures of you using it. And tell me what you put in it. So yay, Ellen. Congratulations. Whew. So, plans. WIPGO is part of my plans. And StitchCon is part of my plans. And then I will be doing Christmas in July stitching. Are you doing Christmas in July stitching? Let me know below. A little bit of shop talk. So I wanted to make you guys aware of a promotion from Kreative. It is an Italian designer. She makes the cutest patterns. But she released, this year she released the Vintage Christmas series. And if you get the first 6 patterns, you will get this pattern for free. So if you order all 6 patterns, you will get that one for free. So the first one is the rocking horse. I stitched up last year. I stitched up her green chic Christmas patterns, and they were super cute. They turned out really well. Number 2 in the series is the truck. And the good thing about these is almost all of them are the same colors. There's like a few that have like a random additional color here or there, but most of the colors are the same. This is number 3, the farm. This one is one of my favorites. I like the rocking horse, but I really love the next 2. Actually, the next 3. This is the carousel. I really like vintage Christmas stuff, especially from like the 50s. I'm a big fan of the nutcrackers. We collect nutcrackers in this house. My son's favorite thing is nutcrackers, so that's a big thing. Super cute. And then the home. Again, one of my favorites. So again, if you get all 6 patterns, and I think she's coming out, yeah, 12 Christmas vintage series. I want to say she's going to do 6 more. So if you get all 6, you will get this pattern for free. And you can find them in my shop. Also, I have decided that during my regular floss tubes, I am not going to show you all of the patterns that I get in, because that would eat a big bunch of time. Instead, I'm going to throw in additional videos whenever I upload something new to the website. Does that sound good to you guys? I think that would work out better. And it wouldn't bombard you so much with the stuff that I have in the shop. You would get another notification that there's a video up of all the new things in the shop. How does that sound? Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you want to see the stuff? Do you not want to see the stuff here? Or would you rather see it in a different video? And when I say video, it's probably going to be just a slideshow of things, unless I get up the gumption to just do another video. But we all know that I have not been consistent, so I'm not making any promises. Another thing is, if you are doing Christmas in July, I plan on doing a Christmas pattern sale in June so that you guys can get it ready for July. So from June 24th to the 26th, I will be offering 20% off all Christmas patterns in my shop. 24th to the 26th. And it will be automatically discounted in the checkout. So once you go to checkout, it will show you the discount. So just to get you ready for Christmas stitching, if you want to pick up a new pattern, come check me out. And that is all for Shop Talk. Let's go on to Happy Mail and haul. So I forgot to show this last time, but you know, my amazing friend Heather of Punky's Place, or Punky Purls, I asked her if she would be able to make a Halo Go travel case, because they don't have a travel case, and she made this. I wasn't the first one to get one, but I had asked her about it when we were on our girls trip, but she made this one. I love it. So it's got, you know, a little pocket here. You could put, I don't know, you could put a pen or something in there, and then space for the charging cable, and then the light goes in here, and it is the perfect size. Love, love, love it. Love Heather. Love all her bags. You need to check her out. I mean, she makes everything. And she is so great with, if you have an idea for custom orders. I need to learn how to sew. That's what I need to do. Love, love, love this. Thank you so much, Heather. And then let's get my lovely bag of haul, which this is an Athena bag. Actually, this is where all my haul goes, so that I can remember to. Oh my god, I got a bunch of patterns. Oh. So let's start with some of those. So some of these, I got an order in from Kreative Go, and so I got some patterns for myself. But these are also in the shop. So she did a series a couple of years ago, or maybe last year, called Windows of Time. And it came in, and it's a monthly series, but they came in 3 charts, so you get like a quarter of a year. So you get 4 patterns, 1 in 1. This is the January through April. They're so cute. I love the idea of doing it on a window frame, but I wouldn't keep them up all year like that. So maybe I could put my other monthlies. So a monthly from Kreative Go, one from Hands On Design, one from one of my cottages. Maybe that might be an idea. Oh, that wasn't yeah, it was. I put January through. Oh, dang it. I'll have to get another one. September through December, and you guys, if you want to see the other months, you can go to the website, because I somehow picked up 2 of those. I also picked up the vintage Christmas tags. I love that Santa's beard. And that one's January too. I don't know what happened there. I'm losing my mind, y'all. Oh no. From Stash Unload, I got Lizzie Kate Santa's Wish List. I thought that was cute. And Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, the light. The light. So I got that. I put in an order with Primrose Cottage Stitches for some finishing fabrics and some stitching fabric. So they had these really cute wool packs that I thought would be good for finishing, especially if I ever finish a freaking berry. So I got 2 of those because they were super cheap. I think they were less than $5. Or maybe they were $5. Something like that. And then they had this gingham bundle. Oh, love it. So all the spring colors. Perfect for finishing or quilting if you're a quilter. Then I got Misty Blue. I'm on a 16 count kick lately, so Misty Blue 16 count Ada, a fat quarter. Sorry, crinkling. But you can't see it when it's in the plastic. And for some reason, I've been shying away from mottled fabric lately. I don't know, maybe I'm getting over it for a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like, it's like a bluish gray. So I like that. And then I got another 16 count, or no, this is 25 count Lugana, and I think I'm going to be using this for my brother and future sister-in-law's wedding sampler. That's if they get married, because then I heard the other day my mom said that they may not be getting married next year. They might be changing their mind. But this is just a piece of 25 count navy Lugana. And I think their colors are like navy and maroon, or navy and something. That's if they get married now. Now I'm freaking out. Like, I need to get in touch with my sister-in-law or future sister-in-law and find out what the J heck is going on. Also from Primrose Cottage Stitches, they had these cute little packs. Holiday Essential Americana pack, which now I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll make a little quilty thing, but they were cute. Then my quarterly club from Crazy Annie's came in for Lady Creates, and this one is called Simple and Charming, linen and cotton fabrics, assorted trims, and ribbon in peridot. So it's got a bunch of it's got some rickrack, some ribbon, the butterfly charm, a flower charm. I think that's a bee. So yes, and there's some lace in there too, which I'm not sure if this linen is used for finishing or do you stitch on it, because I mean it's got, you see, you like could stitch on that, right? I don't know, are you supposed to use it for finishing? I mean it's a finishing club. Let me know, because that might actually be a cool thing to stitch on. I also picked up some needle minders from Kim's Kreative Needle Minders. I saw somebody had these on their Flosstube and showed the Holly Hobby, and then I had to get it because I had a Holly Hobby when I was a kid. I actually still have it, but it's got like an arm chewed off from mice. And sock monkeys, my husband's great aunt made them a bunch of sock monkeys that we still have. So I like the sock monkeys. And I just got like a month or two ago, I got a sock monkey project bag from the 805 Stitcher. And then, which I'm going to put with that. And then this cute little patriotic owl. She's so cute. So yes, that's Kim's Kreative Needle Minder. I think she's on, yeah, she's got to be on Etsy. So cute. And then I was enabled by the lovely and the talented Janet of Janet Jabber to go try out Robot Mom Sew's thread conditioner. Can I tell you that the one that I have is called Road Trip. I got a big one, and then I got like this little variety pack, which is super reasonable, especially if you're not sure if you want to use. I just use it for the end because I find it changes the color and it makes some of the colors look a little matted. I don't know if I'm putting too much on, but all I do is like put the thread in there and pull it out. So I'm just using it for the ends of my thread. But they all smell really good. So this one, the one that I got that the smell I just can't get enough of is Road Trip. This one is pink grapefruit. And clementine mint. I really like citrus smells. Or fresh linen smells is my thing. Like my best press is the fresh linen. I do not like lavender. It makes my nose itch, and which is bad because it's supposed to be really helpful and soothing. And this one was honeysuckle. That straight up does smell like a honeysuckle. Do you have some honeysuckles where you live? We don't have any here in Florida, but I remember, sidebar, I remember as a kid walking home from elementary school and there was a ginormous honeysuckle bush on our way home. And we would just take the stems off. We would lick the honey off of them, even though I don't even know that it's real honey, but I guess it probably is. And it just, it's just a very vivid memory I have of my sister and I walking home and pulling honeysuckles off of this honeysuckle bush. So they work really well. They don't make your hands real greasy. They smell amazing. Just for me personally, I wouldn't recommend putting it on the whole strand. I just put it on the end so that it's easier to thread my needle. I usually put it on both ends, but that's just me. If anybody has a trick as to, or knows why it would change the color, it's not so much that it changes the color, it dulls the color a little bit. I have an example. So, I use the thread conditioner. Is there the same bee somewhere? It's not. But I use the thread conditioner on that bee right there. And then if you look at like this little bee, which is done with the same color, I feel like it's muted the color a bit. So let's see if I can like finagle a side by side. I can do it. Or I'll get another bee. That's not the right colors. I need one with the brown in it. I can't finagle the right colors because the other bees don't have that color in it. But you can even see between this and this, like, can you see that? Can you guys tell what I'm talking about here? See, like that orange looks way brighter than the orange there. So if anybody has any tips or tricks on that, I'd greatly appreciate it. I also got my Part 8 ornament series from Crazy Annie Stitches. These charts are exclusive to Crazy Annie's from Tiny Modernist. Look at that little spoopy Frankenstein. Cute. And then last but not least, the girls at Steel City got me looking at Black Cat Stitchery from Etsy. And I got this lovely lemon yellow bag. She sent a little peach tea, and it also comes with a thread bed for a super reasonable price. So go check her out on Etsy. Black Cat X Stitchery. And of course I will link everybody below. And that's it for my haul. That's it. It always look like that's it. That's it. That's it. Look at all that crap. So, sorry about that. I just thought you should see what a mess it is. So, personal stuff. Not much going on here other than my kid is not here. Which it's been really quiet and we miss him, but we're getting a lot of stuff done. You know, because we don't have to stop and make dinner for him. We kind of like, Brenda and I like just do what we want to do. And we're going to this weekend, which was probably a horrible idea because we have things going on like StitchCon and the big order for Black Needle, but we decided we're going to go on an overnight. So we're going to Mount Dora, Florida. It's kind of like I want to say an old-timey town, but there's a huge Renninger's flea market there. So we're going to go over there and check out the flea market. We had been there years ago, but I wanted to do an overnight, and we can take the dog with us, which is spot on perfect because we have not kenneled her anywhere. We're afraid to. We're afraid what she will be like. And this is the summer of retreats. So StitchCon in June. At the end of June, I have an online retreat for Summer and Stars Hollow, but now I'm thinking I don't know how much I'm going to be able to participate in that because that is the weekend we are driving to Pennsylvania. And then July is no retreats. But then the beginning of August, I have the Black Needle Society retreat. September is Galleria. October is Stitch West. And then I was super excited to read Pam, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, announced in her June newsletter that she is doing a retreat next October. I want to get on that list. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to be in New England in the fall. What better reason than to go on a stitching retreat in fall to New England. So Pam, if you're watching, I want to be put on the wait list. I didn't see any option for a wait list in the newsletter. Please put me on the wait list. Lifelong dream, bucket list to be in New England during the fall. So I think that's it for this time. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please hit the like, the subscribe, give it a thumbs up, do all the things. Don't forget to fill out the Google Happy Mail form if you wish to receive a random act of stitchy kindness. If you win a giveaway, if your name is not on there, then I will have to pick another name. So good on you, Ellen. You filled out the Google Mail form. And shops, Flosstubers, people or things that I've mentioned, I will do my best to link below. If not, they will be tagged on my Insta for sure. So until next time, let's quit bitching and just get stitching. Bye, y'all!